I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack-a-magob, it's time for the only news that matters. Sammy Hagar, whose real name is actually Sammy Belcher, I'm not lying about that, recently found himself in the spotlight again after David Lee Roth made some pointed comments about Hagar and Eddie Van Halen's son Wolfgang. Speaking with ABC Audio, Hagar shared his respect for Van Halen 1984 album. Despite Roth's cutting remarks, he admits that the album, especially the hit song Jump, sparked a mix of admiration and jealousy in him. Hagar said, "I've always been a fan of that album. Eddie's work on it made me a huge admirer. Hearing Jump made me realize they had achieved something extraordinary. I was envious, even a bit annoyed by it and its success." The rivalry between former Van Halen frontman Roth and Hagar is well documented, with Roth's recent comments on YouTube adding fuel to the long-standing feud. Despite this, Hagar seems willing to recognize Roth's role in Van Halen's legacy, regardless of their personal differences. The debate over who is the better Van Halen vocalist continues. David Lee Roth, it is the greatest. I'm actually adding that part in. No other singer is good for Van Halen except for David Lee Roth. I added that part in. But Hagar pointed out a fundamental difference in their approaches. In a 2021 conversation with Inside with Paolo Barron, Hagar distinguished himself from Roth by emphasizing his empathy and concern for how his actions affect others. He contrasted this with Roth's self-centeredness, stating, "The main difference between us is my genuine concern for the impact of my actions and how they're received." I believe Roth is more self-focused, caring more about his performance than its effect on people. I find him entertaining though, and enjoy watching his antics, even if I don't fully understand him. So yeah, another spin on Hagar trying to be nice about Roth, and he'll go back to slamming him. And whoever wrote this article is like not bringing up the fact that Hagar has been slamming Roth for like a decade, where Roth hasn't said anything. So now that he recently said something, it becomes news like, oh, Roth is bashing Hagar. No mention that Hagar's been doing it for ages. And man, what? The guy wasn't even a Van Halen fan. Come on, give me a break. Jump? Out of all the songs, Jump is what made him take notice of Van Halen? That's not a rocker to me, man. You know what they should have taken notice of? Unchained. Hear About It Later. Light Up the Sky. Out of Love Again. Somebody get me a doctor. Ain't talking about love. Atomic Punk on Fire. You know, I could go on and on. Romeo's Delight, man. You know, no. Jump. I'm sorry. Look, any of you, I'm telling you right now, if anybody out there is like, you know, I like the Sammy Hagar stuff, but I do like Jump. That's all I like from the Roth era is Jump. Yeah, you're not, you don't rock, man. You do not rock unless you crank up a full bug and love a full bug. You know what I'm saying? Crank up House of Pain. Girl Gone Bad. Come on. The Beautiful Secrets. I could go on and on and on. I can't name you one Sammy Hagar song. Jump. Yeah, he's listening to Jump back then, all envious, hoping, wishing he was in Van Hagar. He was in Vangina, writing the lyrics to Jump, changing Dave's lyrics and talking about going straight up her lunch pail and I want what I wanted and I eat what I'm eating and stupid ass lyrics that he has. Yeah, he's envious that, you know, he never got to put his stamp of suckness all over Jump. And I'm not a hater of Jump, don't get me wrong. I think it's a cool song. I have nothing against Jump. I have nothing against any song that Van Halen did with David Roth. I'm telling you, it's like a perfect discography. I love it all, and I love Dave's lyrics in Jump. You know, I just think it's awesome. I get up and nothing gets me down. I mean, I like his play on words. David Lee Roth is an awesome, awesome lyricist. And it's like, you know, him, Bon Scott, Steven Tyler, they're so, great lyricists. And then you get like Sammy Hagar. I mean, not even in the same like planet as these great lyricists, because his lyrics are just downright stupid. Even from the very beginning, he wrote a song about a motorcycle and called it Bad Motor Scooter. And it also makes me think, does he actually know any other song on 1984 other than Jump in Panama because they played it live? You know? He probably wasn't even into Jump back then. Probably was. I don't know. All I know is that, you know, he's a compulsive liar. And his stupid tour that he's doing a tribute to Van Halen while playing Sammy Hagar and Montrose songs? Is that really a tribute to Van Halen? It's a tribute to, you know, Vangina with Sammy Hagar and Montrose. And then Michael Anthony is going to sing one of those classic Van Halen songs. And I don't know about you, man, but the footage I've seen of that guy singing Somebody Get Me a Doctor on the Van Halen 3 tour, and I've seen some footage of him singing Bottoms Up, and oh my God, people goof on Roth. Jesus, man. Michael Anthony, part of the greatest harmonies. The greatest. I can't think of another band that had better harmonies than Michael Anthony, Eddie Van Halen, and, you know, Diamond Dave. They all had these, they had this magic harmony. But man, you take Michael away, and you know, Eddie too. You know, listen to that song on Van Halen 3 he sang. But you match Eddie's voice with Michael's voice, those two crappy voices together was freaking magic. And I could be wrong on this one, but I think if I am, I apologize, but I think I read somewhere that Sammy Hagar didn't want to play Jump. And they didn't play Jump on the 5150 tour. And I don't know if I don't know when they ever brought it back, but I know on 5150 they didn't play it. And I've seen interviews where Sammy Hagar saying that he actually has a member of the audience sing the song because he doesn't want to sing it, because those lyrics aren't talking about going up straight up her lunch pail and, you know, stupid ass scooter songs and, you know, just ridiculous things like that. So all I know is that, you know, Jump is the biggest Van Halen song. The only song everybody talks about, oh, all Van Hagar albums went #1. Yeah, but none of their songs went #1. Except for Jump. Their biggest song. And right after their biggest song and their biggest tour in '84, they come back with the next tour where they don't play Jump. Their biggest hit. You know, they play You Really Got Me, Panama, and I think, was there anything else? Because everything was 5150, and I think they even did like 2 or 3 Sammy Hagar songs. I know, I saw it because my friend had a free ticket and BTO was open. I thought, man, I'll go see BTO. But of course I'm going to stick around for Van Halen because Eddie Van Halen is my favorite guitar player of all time. And it was shockingly bad. You know, it's like Van Halen was the greatest live band I ever seen in my life to the worst live band I ever seen in my life. It really was lackluster and terrible. And I remember, like a day or two after that, I was a busboy at the time, and reading the newspaper at my job during a break, there was a Van Halen article of the show, a review, and that guy totally butchered how bad Van Hagar was that night. And I was like, yes, yes, it was horrible. It was just terrible. Anyway, that's it for the news. What do you all think of Sammy Belcher complaining about, you know, how he wanted to be in Van Halen so he could have wrote the lyrics to Jump, because that's the only song he liked, even though he refused to play it on the 5150 tour. I believe I read that somewhere. And thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and ring that little notification bell. I would totally appreciate that. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. And if you are subscribed, please check to see if you're still subscribed, because people have been saying they've been getting unsubscribed for no reason. So if you're unsubscribed, please subscribe again. I totally would appreciate that. You all are awesome, and I appreciate you all, that you all go beyond the call of duty to check out The Only News That Matters. So, like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. Stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath. And smack 'em a gum.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.
Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.